Hello, viewers, and welcome back to Behind the Bulletin. Today, we bring you a story that has sent shockwaves across social media and left countless fans frozen in disbelief. The headline setting the entire online world on fire. Shockwave. Yu Long's mother breaks silence about Yang Mei Mei, fans left speechless. What pushed Yu Long's mother to speak out after staying silent for so long? What exactly did she reveal? And why is the fandom in total chaos over her sudden statement? Stay with us, because we're about to uncover every twist, every emotion, and every explosive detail. Let's dive in, right now. For weeks, the entertainment community had existed in a state of restless curiosity. Rumors swirled in every corner of social media. Speculation festered. And whispers about Yu Long and Yang Mei Mei grew louder with each passing day. Their sudden silence, no public statements, no appearances, not even a single social media update, had left fans uneasy. Something was wrong. Everyone could feel it. But no one knew the truth. That was, until the night Yu Long's mother finally spoke. The moment her statement appeared online, chaos erupted. Notifications exploded across every platform. Comments multiplied by the second. Screenshots circulated. And disbelief spread like wildfire. It wasn't just what she said, it was the fact that she had chosen to speak at all. Because Yu Long's mother was known for one thing: silence. She had never interfered, never commented, never appeared publicly in any drama involving her son. For years, she was simply a quiet figure in the background of his brilliant career. So for her to break her silence now, meant something seismic had happened. The story began quietly earlier that day. Soft rain fell over the city, smudging lights into watercolor streaks on car windows. Inside her modest, warm-lit living room, Yu Long's mother sat alone, staring at her phone as if debating whether the truth deserved to be told. She had held it in for too long. The weight of silence had finally become unbearable. Meanwhile, across town, fans gathered in clusters outside Yang Mei Mei's studio building, demanding answers. They held signs, phones, cameras, anything to catch a glimpse of the truth. The tension between fan communities had reached its peak. Some accused Mei Mei of betraying Yu Long. Others insisted Yu Long had abandoned her. Theories grew darker, uglier, more elaborate. And with every rumor, bitterness deepened. Inside her agency, Yang Mei Mei sat quietly in a conference room, surrounded by nervous staff. Her hands were clasped so tightly her knuckles were white. She had been warned that the situation was spiraling, that if she didn't say something soon, public opinion would turn into a storm impossible to survive. She opened her phone repeatedly, typed messages, erased them, locked the screen, unlocked it again. But nothing prepared her for what would happen next. The first wave of notifications hit her phone like a physical shock. Yu Long's mother speaks out, shocking statement released. Read, mother of Yu Long reveals the truth about Yang Mei Mei. Breaking, fans stunned by unexpected confession from Yu Long's family. Mei Mei froze. Her heart began to pound painfully against her ribs. At the same moment, inside the recording studio where Yu Long was completing his final shoot of the day, his assistant rushed in, breathless. "You need to see this," he said, his voice trembling. Yu Long took the phone from him. The color drained from his face as he read the first lines of his mother's statement. His fingers tightened around the device. His expression shifted from confusion, to disbelief, to something darker, fear. Because his mother had revealed something neither he nor Mei Mei had expected her to say. Something that would ignite the entire country. The statement began gently, almost lovingly. Every word carried weight. "I have remained silent for too long. I cannot watch the lies grow any further. It is time the truth about Yang Mei Mei is finally known." Within minutes, fan communities exploded. What truth? What happened? Is she defending Mei Mei, or exposing her? No way, this is huge. The mystery deepened. Screenshots circulated. Speculation surged. No one knew whether Yu Long's mother was about to destroy Mei Mei, or save her. And then came the second paragraph, the one that shook everyone. "Do not blame Yang Mei Mei for what happened. Is anyone at fault? It is not her." The internet went into meltdown. Mei Mei's hands shook as she read. What does she mean?" she whispered. Staff looked at her uneasily. Even they didn't know. But Yu Long did. He left the studio immediately. Managers calling his name as he rushed down the hallway. pushed through the exit doors into the cold night air, dialing his mother with frantic urgency. She answered on the second ring. "Mother, what did you do?" he demanded, though his voice was soft, almost pleading. "I did what needed to be done," she replied calmly. "Understand. This will create chaos. They're going to twist your words." "I know," she interrupted. "They were already twisting everything. And Mei Mei, she does not deserve what they've done to her." Yu Long swallowed hard. "Then just tell them everything," he whispered. "Tell them the whole truth." There was silence on the line, a long, heavy silence. Then his mother exhaled shakily. She said finally, "But you and Mei Mei must prepare yourselves. Truth will shock everyone. And once it comes out, nothing will ever be the same." Long closed his eyes. "We're ready." But neither of them were. Because what she was about to reveal would turn every rumor upside down and expose a secret no one, not even their closest fans, had ever imagined. The world braced itself for the storm. This was only the beginning. Part 2, 5,000 characters, fictional. As dawn approached, the world waited breathlessly for the continuation of Yu Long's mother's statement. The internet didn't sleep. Social media servers strained under the weight of reposts, comments, livestream reactions, predictions, panicked theories. The tension was so thick it felt suffocating. At exactly 7 a.m., the second half of the statement was released. Fans clicked the announcement link simultaneously. Hearts racing. "The rumors that Yang Mei Mei betrayed my son are false," she wrote. "The truth is that Yu Long was the one who asked her to step away, for a reason none of you would ever have guessed." Confusion erupted instantly. Yu Long asked her to leave? Is this real? In her apartment, Mei Mei stood frozen. Each sentence hit her like a shockwave. Yu Long, however, already knew what was coming, though even he didn't expect his mother to reveal everything. The next line destroyed every rumor that had circulated for months. They did not separate out of conflict. They separated because they were protecting someone else. The internet exploded. Screenshots, reposts, conspiracy theories. But it was the next paragraph that electrified the entire nation. "There's someone who threatened Yang Mei Mei. Someone who warned her to stay away from my son, or they would ruin both of their careers. She chose to endure it in silence so Yu Long would not suffer." Mei Mei's knees buckled. She grabbed the edge of the table for support. Her agency staff stared at her, horrified, shocked, speechless. Yu Long paced the living room of his apartment, hands trembling. He never wanted this truth to be exposed, not this way. He insisted on handling the situation quietly. Mei Mei had refused, choosing instead to take the burden alone. She had sacrificed everything to protect him. Now the world knew. The final part of the statement delivered the ultimate blow. "Do not blame Yang Mei Mei. She is not the cause, she is the one who suffered. Is the one who stood alone. If you must blame someone, blame me for asking her to stay silent." At that moment, the world stopped. It broke into chaos. Supporters cried. Opponents apologized. Even those who had been indifferent found themselves stunned. Mei Mei fell into a chair, tears streaming down her face. Why did she do this?" she whispered. Her phone buzzed. "Yu Long." She answered with shaking hands. "Mei Mei," he said softly. "I'm coming to you." Minutes later, he arrived at her door. When she opened it, they stood staring at each other, exhausted, emotional, fragile. He stepped forward. "You shouldn't have endured it alone." Looked down. "You asked me to." "I was wrong," he whispered. Her voice trembled. "What happens now?" He lifted her chin gently. "We tell the truth together." In the afternoon, Yu Long and Mei Mei appeared side by side in a live stream that broke viewer records. With raw honesty and trembling voices, they explained everything: the threats, the silence, the emotional toll, the decision to protect each other at great personal cost. The world listened. And for the first time, fans saw not idols, but two human beings who had been hurting in silence. Evening, hashtags supporting Mei Mei dominated social media. Messages of apology flooded her inbox. Fan art, letters, and tributes poured in. The narrative had flipped completely. The biggest shock came at the end of the live stream, when Yu Long took a breath and said, "One more truth you need to know. I never stopped caring for her. Not even for a moment." The room fell silent. Mei Mei stared at him. "You Long." He took her hand, unhiding, and in front of millions of viewers, Yu Long and Yang Mei Mei finally stood together, not as rumor victims, not as isolated figures caught in scandal. As two people choosing truth over fear, unity over silence, and each other over everything else. The shockwave had ended, and what remained was honesty, healing, and a new beginning the world never expected. When the truth finally settled, the chaos, speculation, and heartbreak that had surrounded Yu Long and Yang Mei Mei dissolved into something far deeper, understanding. What began as a storm of accusations and fractured trust transformed into a powerful moment of clarity, revealing not scandal but sacrifice, betrayal but protection. For the first time, fans saw the weight both of them had carried in silence, the pain they had, and the courage it took to finally speak. The stream ended and the screen faded to black. The world paused. In that moment, the noise fell away, replaced by a quiet realization that every rumor, every conflict, every harsh comment had been built on shadows, and that the truth was far more human than anyone expected. Yu Long and Yang Mei Mei had not just reclaimed their voices, they had reclaimed their story. Thank you for joining us through this intense, emotional journey from silence to revelation. Your attention, your curiosity, and your willingness to follow every twist mean more than you know. At Behind the Bulletin, promise to continue bringing you stories that move you, shake you, and stay with you long after the final word. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.